credit right, get your mind right.
The mind, credit, bad credit to be specific, is as a result of a poor mindset.
Yes, sir.
And when you get your mind right, because it's like, you ain't gonna have an 800 credit score with a well-built out profile with a 500 credit score. That don't work. That mindset don't work.
Yeah.
Like, you gotta do the thing so you can become the person that have the thing. You need to work on your mind. So the conversation that we're gonna have is really to, how do you get in an 800 credit score mindset? How do you get in the mindset of having a 750 or more in personal credit, where your credit score is concerned? It's a totally different mindset compared to someone with a 500 or a 600 credit score. Completely different.
Come on, man. And that's what we're going to help you do. We can help you get your credit right. We can help you get the right. We can help you get money. But without your mind right, none of that shit is going to make sense anyways. You know what I'm saying? We're not here to help you cheat the system. We're not here to help you hack the system. You know what I'm saying? There's just ways we can get there faster than your old traditional way, but you got to have that mind right. That's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about how changing our mindset and changing our credit, changing our motherfucking lives. And shout out to that, man. You know what I'm saying? It's a long time coming, bro.
Let's get it.
You know what I'm saying? So our brother, welcome to Miami, bro.
Let's go. Aim. It's smooth, bro.
Yeah, man. With that bitch on chill,
Let's go.
Hey, Hap Hap, it's your boy, Mr. CJU, what it do? Hey, man, y'all see me at the crib, y'all see me posted, and y'all see this guy right here, my motherfucking special guest, my homie, my bro, you know what I'm saying? And I'm let's go, man. Hey, bro.
Here, man.
Hey,
Miami.
It's good to have you, bro.
I was just flew into Miami, bro.
Hey, man, you been doing your thing out here since you been here, bro.
Been working.
Hey, you been working, and you know what I'm saying? You know, when you come to Miami, I got you. The hospital, but make sure you straight. When I come out your way, you make sure I was straight with the credit and all that. So we're gonna get into that. Been doing your thing in Miami, bro. So we been talking about this for a minute.
Yeah, it's been a minute. This has been in the making for a minute, and now it's finally here. And what I tell people all the time is, if your mind can conceive and believe it, you can achieve it. But a lot of people don't put the effort that goes behind getting this stuff done. Like, yo, CJ, you know, I want to do something with your eye, bro. You know, I'm in Miami. Well, book a flight. Show me that you're serious, you know? And a lot of people want a lot of things, but they're not willing to do what it takes to get these things. So, yeah, I'm here, bro. Book the flight. I'm here.
Hey, you here, you did. That's right. So look, y'all already know me, man. Mr. CJU, the sauce boss, you know what I'm saying? They paid the cost. They never took the loss, nothing but lessons and straight blessings, you know what I'm saying? From Houston, Texas, into California, now I'm at Miami, from coast to coast, bringing more hope than the Pope. So y'all already know that's how I'm going. So, my God. My people nah, you know what I'm saying? That's sauce splashing. But for my people out there who don't know you, I want you to give them that proper introduction to yourself and let them know who you are, bro, where you from, and what you do, man. Let them know.
Most definitely. So what's going on, guys? My name is Daraine Delevante. I'm your favorite consumer law expert. I teach people how to repair, rebuild, restore their own credit using consumer laws. I also teach credit repair business owners how to scale their credit repair business to make an extra $100,000 to $200,000 per year using 4 key principles: lead generation, client conversion, client ascension, and continuity. Those 4 key elements can scale any business. I've used it not only to scale one of my businesses, but 3 of my businesses.
Let's go.
Multiple 6 and 7 figures.
Let's go. So let's go ahead and hop into it, bro. So the credit gap, you know, you already told me the story personally, bro, how you got into it, what you thought about, you know what I'm saying, coming across my channel and stuff, but let's hear it straight for you, for the people out there, bro. Like, what was you doing before you got in the credit game, and then, you know, what inspires you to take this journey to where you ain't up?
Yeah, so back in 2019, as I was preparing for my deployment to go overseas 2020, when I started studying business, credit, finances, taxes, real estate, your channel was one of the main channels that I was tuning into earlier on in my education to get the foundation of what I need. And I use that information to get my Navy Federal.
Yeah.
And my first high limit credit card came from Navy Federal, and it was the information that I got from your channel that got me that I was able to know use and leverage that high limit credit card to join different more mentorships and to build myself up. And when I say build myself up, I'm talking about stacking books. I was buying 10 to 15 books a month. I was reading about 8 to 10 books a month. Right? So before all of this happened, I had to get my mind right.
So you jumped off in that personal development.
Yeah, 1,000,000%. That was the first book I read, back to front to back, was Rich Dad Poor Dad. First book, front to back. Second book, Think and Grow Rich.
Yes, sir.
Those are my 2 foundational pillar books that I recommend anybody right now that's starting out. You need to get your mind right.
You got to get your mind right, bro. You know, with my channel, I 100%, my YouTube, I 100% was kicking the criticize, you know, kicking and criticize the foundations of it, the basics to get you going and stuff like that. When you look at my channel too, you know, I was doing a podcast style stuff for my guys, the mastermind principles, talking about personal development. I even got videos on there, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to start doing it again now.
I need the Sunday service to come back.
True.
I mean, I was tapped into those Sunday services.
That is, man, I gotta say, like you and him told me about that, and that's really powerful. Like, I think that when I was doing a personal development, breaking down Think and Grow Rich, and I was doing the Sunday services, I feel like every time you would say that to me, and again, when M500 mentioned it, when I seen him, that was just crazy that out of all the content I shot, I see how that resonated.
That Sunday service is different, bro.
So I gotta definitely bring that back. And the Sunday services for me was really about me showing gratitude to God. Because in 2017, you know, 2016, I heard about the creative stuff and stuff like that. And the first book I ever read was 50 and Law by Robert Greene and 50 Cent. That was the first book I read. I heard the audio and I read it. I had a friend put me on that, then I got to think of Rich was old. So I was changing my mind too. But I feel like when I was finna make that jump and that leap to quit my job and do entrepreneurship, I know I had to change my mind too. But I had made a pact with God. I had got to that moment in my life to where like nothing was working out. You know what I'm saying? I'm working at finish line, making $8 an hour, selling weed on the side. You know what I'm saying?
I was at Dairy Queen making $7.25. I was at Five Guys making $8.50 an hour. Man. I know. What? You know, go ahead, bro. You just brought back memories.
Yeah, man. Because it was at a relationships was failing with girls. I had great girlfriends, couldn't keep them. I was so broke. You know, so you ever had a girlfriend that was good to you, you couldn't buy nothing? You know what I'm saying? That sucks.
Like a joking, ready to choke.
You know what I'm saying? There is no romance without finance. You know what I'm saying? So I couldn't give my ladies what they want. I was just frustrated, bro. And I just said, you know, I'm not a religious guy. I wouldn't say that. You know what I'm saying? I try to do in church, the parents and stuff. But I was really like, look, God, like, I don't know how this worked, but I'm telling you, if you help me change my situation, I can promise you, once I start making money and my life changed and I'm helping other people do these great things in my life, I will always honor your name. I will always let my audience know that it wasn't just credit, that it wasn't just I got the sauce, that it wasn't that I'm just a great business sales marketer. I'm always say, hey, it was God that helped me get here. So I made that pact with him in 2017. And then so as I started elevating through my career, things started working out great. The YouTube channel, helping people like yourself and seeing success for other people. The Sunday services were like, I want to teach people what I've learned through the Bible, but it was actually just between me and God, and me just saying like, God, I'm willing to let the audience know publicly that I care about you. You know what I'm saying? So it was like, hey, I'll let my audience know that I'm really like that with God. It was God that changed my life. And so I would do the Sunday services and stuff like that. And I'm not a pastor, but just as a spiritual teacher. And I never looked at it from the other end. I'm like, Rich, like people really like that.
Yeah.
Like
I'm one of them.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? He let me know every time. So y'all, I was right there with camera that I'm gonna bring it back.
Y'all heard it. Hap Hap. The Sunday service is coming back.
It's coming back. All right. I'm saying doing my thing. So got off in the credit game like yourself. You saying you got your swipe, you was reading books, you got the personal development. And then so what did you decide to do? Like I know you were studying me instead of other guys in credit, and then some kind of way, bro, you just carved out the consumer law game and you took it to another level that I never seen. Because you got to remember, when I was on the credit game, you know, we always talk about it. It was just like me, Roundtree, him, my honey. At the time, it was a lot of people like you see now that was just nationally known. Now, there was credit people probably overseas in the States, but we was the ones that was nationally known. So I've had the opportunity to see every credit person come up with their own niche and what they know. And so you was somebody that all of us in the credit game had to notice because we heard about consumer law. I studied it myself. Most people have, but to really know that consumer law, you can't bullshit that. You can't fake it. So how did you jump into that, bro? How did you get into the consumer law sauce?
First of all, I want to, give God all the glory. I was blessed with an unusual talent. I wasn't in sports like all my friends. I spend most of my time reading. I'm an academic, right? And I was blessed with the gift of comprehension. Really to just take something that I read and I just know what it means, right? Okay. So that's a gift that I have, and I thank the Most High for doing it. But it's also a skill that anyone can develop if they put the work behind it. Because faith without works is dead. If I wasn't constantly feeding my mind, it would not have stimulated this part of my brain for me to be able to conceptualize and realize what these words are saying. Because in a society where our government and institutions use double speaking, when they say one thing but they mean something else, it's imperative that we really comprehend the real definition of what things are said to us, right?
Right.
So in realizing that, I joined a mentorship program, and then one night they brought this dude on that was speaking consumer law. It was my first time hearing about it. I knew of it, but I didn't know it.
Right.
I heard it in that light. So I started to think, who else is doing consumer law? And there was nobody doing it, right? So I have this thing about learning something that everybody else doesn't know. Right? So I decided to take consumer law and make it my own. Yeah. Right? So I started reading, dude. I'm buying books after books after books. I am reading for a whole year, bro. I'm there studying. I'm joining masterminds. I'm taking classes from lawyers. I'm doing everything. And then I cracked the code. Built out an 800 credit score 3 times. When I learned, the biggest thing I learned in consumer law was that we think, and a lot of y'all do, y'all don't admit it, but put it in the chat if this is true. A lot of y'all think that your FICO score is your credit score and that your FICO is attached to your consumer report. It is not.
Okay, drop the gang.
Right? So the consumer report and the FICO score are 2 separate things. They exist independently, right? So FICO and its algorithm. FICO is a technology company that provides an algorithm that it licensed to consumer reporting agencies to use consumers' consumer report information to create what is called a risk score based on 5 principles, or should I say 5 factors: payment history, utilization, length of credit history or age of credit, new credit, and mixture of credit. Right. Those are the 5 base models. However, FICO has different scoring models: FICO 2, FICO 3, FICO 4, FICO 5, FICO 8, 9, 10, and 10T. There's different variations of it used for different things that are industry specific, like a credit card score, or a bank card score, auto score, a mortgage score. Like they have different things that when a consumer goes out to get approval for stuff, different industry specific scores and scoring models are used. But what's common between all the models is the base model, which is the payment history, utilization, age of credit, new credit, and mixture of credit. So those factors now contribute to the overall risk score, or credit score as people call it, that you get. So when I found out that 15 USC 1681A 2A1 speaks about a transactions and the experience of a consumer is not included in the consumer report, and it falls directly under the exclusion sections of the law. Exclusion means not a part of. does not contain, not a part of. So learning that the transactions and the experience of a consumer and the person making the report is not included, well, that means the two biggest factors of FICO, which is the payment history, and the utilization, which is 35% and 30%, which makes 60%. But then you break it down even further from 300 to 850, that gives you 550 points. And when you take 35% off that, you're going to get 192.5 points. When you take 30%, now you're going to get 165 points. So when you put those together, you realize that because you don't know consumer law, you just lost 357.5 points. That was a game changer.
And you dove deep into that shit, and now you can break that down.
Correct.
So let me see if I catch it, right? So when you're talking about that law, and you're pretty much saying like our transactions and the consumer, and our report and the consumer, so the stuff that we do is not, it's not even supposed to be reported?
Talk about transaction. What does your transaction means? What is your payment history? Isn't your payment history a transactional history?
Right.
So if the law says transactions are excluded, how does a payment history?
And what's that law again?
You want to pull it up? You got your phone?
It's over there. We gotta be one. You gotta be on phones, man.
So
yeah, put that up.
So 15 USC 1681A. Guys, look this up. 15 USC 1681A 2A1, right? So when you go down to number 2, the exclusion section, it's going to say, except as provided in paragraph 3, the term consumer report does not include. When you click the definition for consumer report, it's going to give you all the definition of what a consumer report is. But what you will not find in the definition is FICO or Vantage. Congress gave us the definition of what this is. So if FICO is not included or Vantage is not included, it's not a part of the consumer report.
So it shouldn't be reported.
So some stuff can be reported. It may be reported. They have a choice. And I know a lot of people, when you all call these creditors and consumer reporting agencies, they're going to tell people that, oh, by law, we have to report it. That's a lie. There is no law that says anything have to be reported.
If they say that, can you tell me what law says that?
Correct. They'll never tell you, because there's no law that says it. I've read a lot of laws, and in my reading, if that law was going to be anywhere, it would be in the FCRA, and it's not in there. I've read that law.
Right and back. We all got to start with the FCRA. We all got to start with that, and it's not in there.
For those of you who don't know what the FCRA is, it's the Fair Credit Reporting Act. That governs how information gets reported to your consumer report by consumer reporting agencies, lenders, furnishers, and other institutions.
So when we talk about a dispute process, or we talk about getting things off our consumer report, the goal is to use these laws to our advantage, correct?
Because then you don't have to make stuff up. That's what a lot of people is doing and filing fake identity theft reports. You are using laws that were specifically made for that purpose.
Right. So let's jump into some of them, because I know some of your content you put out there has been hot stuff. I know you talked about the late payment. I know we also talked about auto loan, but let's talk about late payment, because I know that's the one that really get people jammed up, they got their score down low and stuff like that. So what consumer law can they use to help with late payments on that report?
Well, first of all, we need to think about first, how much of an impact does a late payment have on a consumer report?
A whole lot.
Payment history, the category that FICO has for payment history, it attributes to what? 35%. That 35% is up to 192.5 points. So a late payment can affect you up to 192 points, up to 193 points, right? So when we learn now that a late payment really doesn't exist, well, let's go to 15 USC 1681A, right? Let's scroll down to number 2. And then under the exclusion section, it's going to tell you that except as provided in paragraph 3, the term consumer report does not include. And A1 says, in reports containing information solely as to transactions or experiences with the person, with the consumer and the person making the report. When you click on the word person, it's going to tell you that the word person means a corporation, a trust, a partnership, a government agency. It's going to tell you exactly what the word person means, but because of double speaking, a lot of us think that when they see the word person, it's a normal person, you and me. Person also means a corporation. These corporations, these banks, these consumer reporting agencies, those are corporations. So the reporting of information of the consumer and the person making the report, the corporation making the report, that information is not included on the consumer report. But it's a factor of FICO. FICO is an industry standard. That means nothing. FICO is not law. And this is the part that people don't get. Not because FICO has that as a factor, it means that it's supposed to be there. FICO is an independent, private company. It has nothing to do with your consumer report.
Nothing to do with law.
Nothing to do with it.
Just that algorithm. So are people able to use this law to help remove late payment?
I've done it many times. There's nobody that gets more late payments deleted more than I do. This is facts. I got the receipts.
Nah, for real. Because that's big in the game. Because again, when people have late payments on their report, it's like, you know, the old school, you know, I said old school good with
letters. Like, who sends good?
Like that was the game he came up with. Good with letters. Right. Hey, can you please remove this, man? Like I paid.
My dog died. I'll never do it again.
Yeah.
Look at my history. And I sent a goodwill letter before, but that was before I knew what I know now. I was begging, dude. My brother was sick. I had to send my money to Jamaica. All begging, bro.
But that's what I'm saying. You came in because I was from that area where goodwill letters was the sauce, or you know any type of reports to just get the whole thing removed. That was the game back then, and so like that's why it's like the way I look at the credit game. When I came up, you didn't have that many educators. It just wasn't there when I was again. So when I was learning credit, I couldn't YouTube consumer law sauce. Like now, people can use what's your YouTube?
Daraine Delevante.
Daraine Delevante. So somebody can YouTube you. And you dropping this sauce. They can YouTube Chris Joesph University and get the sauce. When I was in the game, I typed it because it's just like crickets. You know what I'm saying? People were still just vlogging back then. Entrepreneurship, education wasn't even a big thing. Just in any subject. I'm 2016 looking on YouTube. It's just not there. Quality wasn't there. Bro, the only thing that was on YouTube back then was, you know, when Jake Allender was coming up, you know, Logan and them, like just vlogging. So nobody was giving sauce about entrepreneurship at the time. You know, it was like rap battles and stuff like that. You know, entertainment.
Ciphers.
Yeah. Like that type of stuff was on YouTube and stuff like that. So I know it's funny when I say it because I know nobody can look at YouTube like that. But I'm talking about I would search and be like, damn, there's just nothing here. You know what I'm saying? Like Steve Lau, he was one of the guys back then. He got the credit name on Instagram. I can't think of a lot of them off the top of my head that was around, but they wasn't black. I can tell you that. It was a few guys, a couple of Asian guys up there, maybe 2 white guys up there, but you know, they couldn't break it down to I understand. You know what I'm saying? Because coming from our community, somebody who's Asian or somebody who's white break it down credit can fly right over our head. We need somebody to break it down to where we can understand it. And you know, that's what I do with the credit game. So it's like, I broke in, gave the basics, gave the fundamentals that I learned, and then read it.
Well, you can't build a mansion without a foundation.
Yeah, so from getting it, I built the foundation of what the era I came up in. But then you come in and be like, okay, I see that foundation. A lot of people about to follow CJ path to the foundation. So I'm gonna come in, niche out this consumer law game and boom. So basically the point I'm getting at is you provided such a huge service and value to the community based off the type of foundation I provided because I came from the Goodwill era. You know, Goodwill letters, that's all I do. You know that I just have to wipe it off, but what you doing is like changing the game.
The other thing is, when people think law, they think only lawyers alone can read law. They think only lawyers alone can draft a dispute letter. They think only lawyers alone are their best option. Like, no, you can do for self. You can go do it yourself. All you need is a little bit of time to read the stuff. Get yourself a Black's Law dictionary. Start looking up real definitions.
You know,
and then somebody's gonna say, "But Daraine, a Black's Law dictionary is a little expensive." I'm gonna just go with the Webster. You pay for what you get. So if you want to go use a $5 dictionary, you're gonna get $5 definition. But if you go spend this $200 or $300 and get yourself a good Black's Law dictionary, then you will see real definition of what these people are using and how they use double language against you.
Hey, and let's touch on that point when you talk about money, how much shit costs and what's expensive. $200, $300. Hey man, we spending $200, $300 in the club. You spend $200, $300. I mean, people broke all day to buy weed, buy their cigarettes, buy their hair. You can come up with the money if you want it. You know what I'm saying? If you really want it.
The thing is, they weren't educated enough for them to comprehend that it means everything.
Yeah. Yeah. So
and that's the thing. People know the price of everything, but the value of nothing.
There you go. And let's talk about that, bro. So now you're doing the consumer law, you dropping that sauce, you giving people that game, you got your credit cards, and you make the decision to join mentorships. And join, like, you know, how did you get your mind wrapped around like, hey, such and such costs hundreds of dollars, and then you worked your way up to shit costing thousands of dollars? What made you take that risk and be like, I'm gonna invest this money?
Well, Napoleon Hill said that when he was doing the research for Think and Grow Rich, and Carnegie sent him out on this huge endeavor, mentorship kept popping up. These guys had masterminds. Napoleon Hill even created a 12 council mastermind of himself. That's how important mentorship was, right? And mentorship is the shortcut to success. Why should I spend 25 years trying to figure out what Napoleon Hill figured out in 25 years when I can just go buy his book and read it and get all the sauce? The dude spent 25 years putting this book together, and I can just go buy it right now. Take me 2 days to read it, and I'm Gooch.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So when I learned that mentorship was really the shortcut to success, that's when it clicked. And I knew that if I needed to get to my destination faster, I need to find somebody that has done what I want to do and pay them how to teach me how to do it.
That's fire, bro.
That's the game.
And you just went straight to it.
That's the game.
That's why I want to have this conversation with you, like, because we from two different eras in the credit game. When I was telling you, we was talking here in my crib earlier, and it was like, and I just made a YouTube video about this, like one of the biggest mistakes I made was I didn't join mentorships. And again, from my era, it wasn't a lot of mentorships available.
Correct.
Everybody was still learning the game. No one had mentorship programs out.
But we were late to the party.
Yeah.
Our counterparts had the game already on.
I had the game.
We were just late to the party.
We was late to the, again, my era was Jay Morrison. He was the only one out at that time. You know what I'm saying? He was really the one out there in the community. Then you had Roundtree with him and stuff like that. Everybody else other than that was still getting that stuff together. 2018, 2019, people was like getting their feet wet. 2020 is when you seen a lot of us, like at that time, including EYL, like start rising up. And then that's when everybody underneath that, after the 2020, started taking off 2021. Like how you started turning up 21, 22, and then now you're on fire in 23. So I look back and like I could have done better. I'm not gonna make an excuse like I couldn't find. I'm not gonna say I was actively looking for mentorships, but it just wasn't in my face like it is today. Like ads coming in or YouTube channels and stuff like that, so we could be like, today ain't no excuse. Ain't no excuse to not doing mentorship.
It's not.
Today I can try to give myself one. I could have done a better job of seeking, but today there's no excuse of I didn't know who to go to. Nah, you know today.
Excuses are a down payment on why you are broke.
Absolutely.
Excuses create a mindset where I'm gonna just escape not doing something, or I'm gonna escape putting in the action or putting in the effort because I got a crush. You know, let me go make this excuse real quick because it's a down payment on why I'm a failure in life.
For real.
Remove the excuses. You will see that everything will start changing. What you put in is what you get out. If you want a different output, you got to change the input. And that's what I realized, bro. I had to recreate a new mind.
100%.
Because the one that I had before that was programmed for the 40-40-40 club, it was not working anymore.
Facts. And because I know I did enjoy mentorships earlier, which could have maybe millions of dollars more than what I made. That's why I'm so big on mentorship, to make sure nobody makes the mistakes I made. But then also using you as an example, like, hey, you know, I could teach you about all the mistakes I made by not having a mentor, and I've been in the game for so long, I already know what you're about to trip to. So join CJU mentorship, so I'm gonna help you. But then I can also say, look at Daraine, his guy actually paid for the mentor. He did it correctly, and look how fast he took off. So that's why to the audience out there, it ain't no goddamn excuse. And the way I was able to even help the community eliminate the excuse before they even try to jump in the program is when I do my funding. I get you access to the capital, to the money first. I put 50, 60 to 100 grand in your pocket first, to where like, hey, I've been watching CJ life, I've been watching Daraine life, I see how impactful it is. I want to join these guys' mentorship program. But damn, I don't have the money. We've already solved that for you. We gave you access to the capital. So today, there is no excuse as to why you shouldn't join a mentorship with some life-changing information that we can provide for you, because we can also give you the capital to be afforded.
So let me tell you what some of people's biggest problems are. They've never seen 50, 60, $100,000 in one place before. Them zeros confuse a lot of people. So now they see this, it's now a cash grab. Yo, I want to go spend and buy all the things that I never had. Versus, how do I invest this 50, 60, 80, 100,000 so that I can have multiple 100,000s or even a few M's, right? So now remember, they've never spent this amount of money before. So now to join a program, a high ticket program, for example, a 25K, a 10K, or a 15K program, where they're like, yo, why am I going to spend this much money? Well, if learning a small piece of the information produce 60, 80, $100,000, imagine when you learn the rest of the information and what you can do. You can literally now print your own income. You will learn how to delete negative items from your credit. You learn now how to do marketing. You learn how to make content. And now you can let everybody know that, yo, I'm the plug if you need to get your credit right. People are going to pay you now anywhere from $1,000 to $5,000 for you to fix their credit. Right?
Right.
10 people a month, that's 50,000 if you're charging 5K. Right? If you're still charging 10 and you're doing it for 2,500, that's 25,000 a month. That's what some people make in a year. What as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. So if your thoughts are limited, guess what's going to be limited to? Your bank account.
100%, bro. And that's why I've gotten into high ticket sales, because I realized that, especially listening to Amara go to Sauce 2, Alex Amaza Sauce 2, when I realized that I was making, hundreds of thousands of dollars, when I made my first 100K, I thought I was, extremely rich. And then I found out how fast 100K can go.
Bro.
Jesus.
Quick.
But what's crazy? Like, when I was broke, you know what I'm saying? And when people talk like that, like, oh, 100K can go so fast, I used to be like, it won't go when I get it. I'm going to live off this shit forever. You know what I'm saying? And I'm used to live. Man, when you start seeing what's out there and seeing what levels is out there, and your desires start getting bigger, and not just you buying materialistic things, when you start to see how much you can help and impact other people, you got a staff, you got payroll, you got people to pay. So you need to increase your income. When a lot of people be like, oh, I'm good where I'm at, no, you're not. Because if you increase your income and you make more money, you can actually employ and have more impact by paying other people.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? So I was like, man, 100K a year is dope. Okay, 100K a quarter is dope. And I was like, 100K a month is dope. But it's just like, man, there's still levels of hitting that $1 million mark. And I was just like, well, how do I get there? Of course, you got scaling, but when I started to study from other rich people, it was premium value offers, right? And what I learned about premium value offers is that, like, charging, like, my program is $25,000. So I know the ROI in my program can 10x. You can make $250,000 in a year if you pay me $25,000 to do exactly what I tell you to do, right? Not only that, I know if you pay $25,000, you're gonna do what I tell you to do. So when you charge more, and when that person pays that, you're actually helping that client become more accountable. So, and see, if my program was $2,500, how much seriously they taking the post if they invested $25,000?
So, just a quick thing to what you just said. So, the heart follows the pocket, right? Where the heart goes, so does that treasure lies. And what we fail to comprehend as a people is that knowing the price of something is different from comprehending the value. Right? And people, you'll hear broke people say this all the time. You know, rich people are rich because they got money. No, they're rich because they have a rich mindset. Because take away all the money, take away all the cars, throw them in some backwoods somewhere, give them 2-3 months, they're going to be back on top. They know how to do. But poor people want a microwave fix. People want a microwave fix. Daraine, I don't want to learn anything. I just want a 700 credit score. I bet 2 months later, you're back with the same bad habits. Now you got the same shit back on your credit. So if my people are destroyed because of a lack of knowledge or lack of information, then the opposite is also true. If they have abundant knowledge and abundance in their education, well, there won't be any destruction of my people. But a people that refuses knowledge, you're refusing your own financial freedom. You literally just put a wall up to your own financial freedom. It's information that changes situation, and that situation now can change your compensation.
100%, bro, 100%, because that's been my life. I didn't read books when I was in school. You know what I'm saying? I didn't think that stuff was important. I didn't start reading till I got out. And then you have that book right there. Go ahead and put this in. This is real sauce right here. So this book right here, have you read this yet?
No, not yet.
I think you'll like this, bro.
It's on my list of things.
This book is right here. It's called Psycho-Cybernetics by Dr. Maxwell Maltz. I got this book recommended to me, RP, my mentor, Bob Proctor. So this book is about a plastic surgeon, doctor. So he was just a plastic surgeon, and what he would do was, people come in, they want their face changed and stuff like that. So he was doing it for years, and then he realized that he would change and let his whole nose, and change the whole cheekbone, and change the whole face. And then they would come back weeks later like, I still feel like shit. I don't feel sexy. I don't feel fine. I don't feel good looking. He'd be like, and then he would hold the image of, this is what you like before, and this is what you like now. What's the problem?
But you look good.
And then he realized he was internal. He realized no matter how much he changed on the outside, how they felt inside was changed. So he went off into his journey of personal development mindset, and this book is based off your self-image. So off his study. So basically what he's teaching in his book is you can't outwork your self-image. Like how you said, the abundance mindset, because now that's what you believe, right? So a lot of people believe that, if they just change their clothes, if they just change them, now that don't work.
Get a BBL.
Yeah, bro.
They will get a tummy tuck.
Yeah, right? That might can make you get in the rhythm of it, but the self-image inside is what's going to determine everything. You can't outwork it. So you got people out here, Daraine, that work 50 hours a week, and the paycheck is still $1,000. You work 50 hours a week for $1,000. So the sauce that we kicking is, it ain't how hard you work. It is not how hard you work. It's really about the mindset and how you feel about yourself. Because I know from high tickets, I can do $25,000 on one client. I didn't work that hard for that. I have the value, the knowledge, the information that changed the skills. The skills that change the situation. Now, did I have to work hard to get there? Yes. Once you work hard to get there, like what you just said, once you know how. Once you know how you look. So my self-image of how I feel about myself, Chris Joesph, CJU, the sauce boss that paid the cost. And they take out lost nothing but lessons and blessings. You know what I'm saying? So if I got wiped out, my bank account got wiped out. I didn't have access to credit. I lose my $850,000 condo we got right here. It's not gonna take me that long to get it back because my paradigm is a lot with this self-image of how I feel. So if you take my clothes, my flight, if you take it away from me, how I feel about myself, by the law, I'm gonna get it back. That's why you have some of these people that even when something happens, they go to jail and come back out and get it right back. You be like, how the fuck did they get it right back? Here. So a motherfucker think the key to success is hard work, but that's one factor.
No, it's not hard work.
It's not hard
work. It's smart and moving correctly.
Yeah, man, and getting that information, and that's why what we doing right here on this channel, what we doing with this interview, you know what I'm saying, is letting people know that it's possible.
It is. Dude, I wasn't even born here. I came here in 2010.
For real?
Yeah, I came here when I was 20, bro. I wasn't born
From
here.
Jamaica?
Yeah, I didn't go.
You lying, bro.
I've only been here 13 years, bro. March made 13 years.
For real?
March 18, 2010. That's when I came to the U.S.
You in Jamaica this whole time?
The whole time.
You came here in
2010, correct.
What the fuck you thought about America when you got here?
It was crazy. I thought y'all was crazy. I've never been this cold in my life. Dude, I went to New Hampshire. My bones were... I have never been that cold in my life. I've never felt cold in my bones, bro. New Hampshire was the coldest I've ever been in my life.
What? And so you got out from the credit game straight from over here?
Yeah, all the credit game I got here when I came here years after.
So
That
you
is
seem
the
like when you
first-
took it was like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, that was my, what is this? But then I got denied so many times, bro. And this word credit kept coming up. I had to watch it. Right? And then what really got me was when I got my first car, my 2007 Nissan Altima. Dude, it had 75,000 miles on it. And I got denied. I needed a co-signer. And then I was paying 18.9% interest rate on it, bro. My payment for that car was $550 a month for a used car with 75,000 miles. Ridiculous. Bad credit is the most expensive life you will ever live. That is a fact. Because everything costs more. 2 to 3 times more.
Holy shit.
That is a fact.
Damn, bro, you changed your whole situation with this information, bro.
Everything, my whole life.
And just talk about, before we end up wrapping this up, just talk about where you at today. Like your impact. Let's talk about your brain. Let's talk about the credit summit. Let's talk about your staff and the events you doing. Like, let's talk about you got this sauce, but what all you got going on now?
A lot of stuff. So, depending on how early this episode goes out, August 14, right, to 18, I'm doing a 5-day challenge where people like you can come on the challenge, see me live. You can ask me questions, right? Ask me questions. I will give you all the sauce and how to delete anything from your credit and then how to use that information to create a multiple 6-figure business. That's one. The second thing is I got the credit summit coming up, right? Hap Hap. We got the credit summit coming up. And you know, you're a speaker. So every one of you that's been with CJU for all this time, you get to hear my man speak on stage, live, commanding the crowd, everything, right? That's happening in Atlanta, September 29th, 30th, and October 1st.
Yes, sir.
They come get to see you, their favorite Hap Hap, get it out the mud.
Yeah.
They're going to come see me for the consumer law, as well as our other friends that are going to be there, really breaking down credit the way that we need to learn it so we can change our own situation, right?
Damn.
It's a lot of stuff coming, bro. And the FICO ebook I was telling you about earlier, where I built from a 510 to a 504 to a 810 in 6 months. I'm breaking all of that down. And for those of you that want to start reading the ebook, on my website is $197. Right now, you can get it for $47. All you got to do is simple. All you got to do is text the word FICO, FICO. So if you text the word FICO to 917-993-5238, text the word FICO to 917-993-5238. They can get the ebook. They can start, because everything that I know about FICO and how I got the 800 credit score, I've broken down in that ebook, and y'all can start your own journey.
Yes, sir. And to all our CJU community out there, you know what I'm saying? Like, really talking to y'all. Y'all seen my journey when I did in the credit game. What Daraine has done to the game, he's taking it to another level. You know what I'm saying? He's taking it to a whole nother level. And y'all hearing his story. He came over from Jamaica. He went through the denials. He went through the high interest rate. So he has a different passion for it, of how this can really impact and change people, man. And it's like what he's done to teach people how to remove stuff from the profile. You need to tap in. right? Because it's not about like, well, CJ, I rock with you, so you tell me rock with this guy. No, me and Daraine rock together.
Facts.
We don't compete with each other.
There is
You know
no
what I'm saying?
competition.
Where we collab, because what I want for the CJU community, what I want for my people is to get the most value and the best value, whether it's coming from me or coming with somebody I'm associated with. Because what Daraine is doing that I love more than anything right now is he's getting all the top people in the credit game, the top influencers, the top entrepreneurs, and he is bringing us together. Going to his credit summit, the last one he had allowed me to shake hands and meet other people in the space that I probably wouldn't have met if it wasn't for him. You know what I'm saying? And so he's doing his next credit summit that I'm gonna be there speaking at. And I would love to have all y'all in attendance so y'all can see me and y'all can hear my sauce and y'all can hear his sauce. And we just put it all together. And then we all win. Because when we all collaborate with this credit sauce, the sky is the limit. Like what we can do for our people, not just for us here in America, the Black Americans here, but this guy's from Jamaica, what we're gonna be doing across the world now with this type of information, this type of collaboration, and the access to capital that we can get legally. That legally. Here in America, you have a right to this credit. You have a right to this system. They will give it to you legally. You don't have to scam. You don't have to steal. You don't have to do any hacks or illegal tactics. You just follow the simple blueprint that he got in his ebook. Get you started. Come watch our channels. Tap into the challenge. Tap into the programs. Come out to the events and get it.
Make sure all the y'all are subscribing, bro. Come on,
man.
It's 2 seconds. Just hit that subscribe button. It goes that far away. It brings the content out. You know, this is Daraine Delevante. That's me on YouTube. We got, what do you got on YouTube?
Chris Joesph University,
Come
man.
on, man.
Come on, man.
It takes 2 seconds.
It only takes 2 seconds, man. Get all this information. Get all of this sauce. I do not want y'all to get lost. Bro, I think we're going to have to do a part 2, bro.
Well, let's find out. If y'all want a part 2, because remember, I haven't touched repo, charge-off, bankruptcies, what else? Collection. I haven't touched none of those.
This was about the mindset.
This is just the big, but we gotta
start with telling about the mindset.
We gotta start. Because that's where our journey starts, getting our mind right. So if y'all are loving this and y'all want a part 2, right? I need y'all to put part 2 here. Most importantly, guys, put part 2 in the comment. But most importantly, I need y'all to come out and social love, social support for the Credit Summit. Remember, September 29, 30, and October 1st. You guys gotta be there. It's in Atlanta. I need y'all to come out, show up, show out, and this really changed the whole dynamic of our situation, not only with us, but with our families. Because this conversation, this needs to be a conversation that's happening in the home. On Fridays when you guys are having your family dinner, talk to the kids about credit. Talk to them about becoming an authorized user. Talk to them about opening up a secured account where they can start establishing their credit. So when they come out of high school, they have a 750. They're going to college with a 750. And we're not sending our kids with collections for light bills and cable bills and all this bullshit that used to happen back in the day. Yes, you hear me speaking like this. I am very passionate about this.
Yes, sir.
Let's change the narrative. We gotta change it.
Last thing before we go. Give me that breakdown one more time. You will teach them how to remove what? You said repo?
Repossessions, charge off, late payments, collections, student loans.
You can teach them all the laws.
Everything. There's a law to delete all of
that. We gotta do the part 2 to do that. Y'all gotta listen.
Well, we gotta do it. They want it.
If y'all want that, he's breaking that up.
They gotta want it. If I don't see part 2, I'm not doing it. I gotta see.
Y'all guys gonna teach you how to get all that removed, and then once you learn that sauce, I'm gonna teach you how to lock in with me and get access to my strategic banking relationships to help you get access to this large amount of limits. Y'all know y'all go to cjufunding.com and see that I give people 50, 60, 70, 80, all the way up to $100,000 on one business credit card at 0% interest that you can use to invest into your business, your brand. And I'll teach you how to get into high ticket sales. He's gonna teach you how to remove everything. I'm gonna teach you how to get access to capital and do high ticket sales. We're gonna package that all up, and there's no reason why nobody can succeed. So tap in with your boy, Mr. CJU. Tap in with Daraine. I hope y'all got a whole lot of sauce, and we do not want y'all to get lost.
Hold up. Remember, the Consumer Law Get It Out the Mud Mastermind in December. Don't forget.
Oh, that's
Don't forget. So, guys, we're planning a mastermind. This is a weekend mastermind, right?
That's the first time you just get dropped, right?
Yeah. So it's a weekend mastermind. It's Consumer Law Get It Out the Mud weekend mastermind here in Miami at the Paramount in Skyami, right?
Yeah, you said right, Skyami.
Right. So we're about to do a retreat. And it's not going to be a lot of tickets opening. We're only opening up maybe 100 tickets. That's it. It's going to be very personal, very intimate, first come, first served basis. And then we're going to go down the yacht on the Sunday, right? Well, because we are yacht owners. Hey, bravo.
All right. No, it's come out. It's come out. Our people already know they gonna tap.
All right, my bad.
Hey, I'm gonna be out in Miami. We gonna give them a sauce and give them experience. They're gonna have fun. They're gonna make some money. We're all gonna make money together. That's the beauty about our system. We're gonna make it together. It's not that they just pay us and they make us rich. The system goes back to them so they can make money.
Correct.
And then we're gonna have a good time. All the banks down my head, man.
I gave them too much info. My bad.
Hey, comments if y'all want some more of Mr. CJU and Daraine Delevante, let us know, man. Brother, it was a pleasure, bro. I'm glad to have you in Miami. Glad for us to finally do that, man.
Yeah, for sure.
Hey, man, till next time, y'all already know.